Hello everyone, I'm Chef Ron Locke, and today I want to talk to you about my brand new cookbook that's being released on February 26th, 2016, and that book is called Cookin With Ma. And we're going to talk about this book and show you a little bit more about it here in just a moment, but I wanted to talk just real briefly about the book and give you a little bit of history about how this book has come about. Now, for those of you who've been following me on social media or know me personally, you know that this has been a 6-year ordeal for me. I started penning this book back in May of 2010, roughly about 8 months before my mother passed away from lung cancer. This book I wanted to make as sort of a tribute to her, and also to her and I and our times that we spent in the kitchen making some wonderful, wonderful recipes, and times with the family as well. I really wanted to make it sort of a dedication book for her after she passed away. And for the next 6 years after that, I have struggled and gone through some major hurdles, and the book has taken some turns and a couple rewrites and you name it, and it's happened. But it is finally completed after just about 6 years from its inception. So I wanted to just give a little brief history about the book, because I know a lot of you have followed me through the whole course of that, and also just to give you a little bit more in-depth insight about the book as well. It has 25 hand-picked recipes from myself that are reminiscent of ones that I spent time helping my mom with in the kitchen, or some of her favorites, or some of our family's favorites. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and show you Cookin with Ma. Okay, here is the cookbook, Cookin with Ma, and let's talk a little bit first about the size and the cover of the book. The size of the book is an 8 by 10 inch book, which makes it for a very nice read. There's large print inside for the recipes, which I'll show you in just a moment. The cover itself is a nice glossy, soft cover, and the reason I made this soft cover is because when you're trying to go through and use a recipe, you're going to want to have that nice flexible cover to either bend back or to work with, because if you've ever used a hard-covered cookbook like I have many times in my life, they become very cumbersome and clumsy. So I wanted something that was really flexible for the user to use. Also, for the consumer, it's a lot cheaper to purchase the book with a soft cover than it is to purchase it with a hard cover. Alright, also, I made this glossy because if you're like me, you're spilling and making a mess in the kitchen all of the time. And if you happen to dribble something on the cover itself, all you need to do is just take a damp rag or a washcloth and just wipe off the book, and you'll be good to go. Alright, let's open up the book a little bit and show you some of the features of the book itself. First thing I want to show you is the table of contents. The book is laid out in 25 chapters. As I stated, there's 25 hand-picked recipes in the book that are from my family and my mom and I that we used to cook with together. And each of these have a story and a bit of history that goes along with each of them, and I'll get into those in just a moment as well, but I just wanted to show you that they're broken down in chapter format. Alright, so let's go to one of the recipes and we'll talk a little bit more about how each chapter is laid out. Let's see here. Southern Bourbon Sloppy Joe sounds good to me. Let's go ahead on this chapter. Now, this is the Southern Bourbon Sloppy Joe's recipe, and the first thing you're going to see on each chapter is that we start off with a little bit of history. So we have Sloppy Joe's, the history of Sloppy Joe's. Where did it come from? Okay, so there's always going to be a one-page synopsis about that, or it could be one of the ingredients within the recipe as well. All right, and then next you're going to have here, you see this is chapter 2. This happens to be Kindergarten and Sloppy Joe's, and this chapter talks all about me and when I was in kindergarten and a day that I had, and the experiences that I had with the Sloppy Joe recipe that will precede this. So let's move forward. Most of the short stories are usually 1 to 2 pages. They make a really nice read, and they're all inspirational or feel good, and they're all very positive stories. So definitely something you can leave out on your tabletop or coffee table and your guests or family members can read them as well. It's not just a regular cookbook. That's why I like these cookbooks, because I wanted to make them something more than just a bunch of recipes that were slammed into a book and thrown into the back of a shelf someplace. All right, you can see here we have our Southern Bourbon Sloppy Joes. I just give a brief description of them and a little bit of background perhaps on some of them as well. Nice color picture of them here, and then the recipe, ingredients, directions, and each of them have a little bit of a chef notes space toward the bottom, because we all have our adaptations and our changes that we may want to make to the base recipe itself. I would hope that you like the recipes as they are in here, but I know that I'm always changing stuff up, and I'm sure most of you do the same thing. So you've got notes that you can make so you don't completely trash the book out with a bunch of scribbles and stuff. All right, so that's how each recipe is laid out. All right, and then we can go through this real quickly here. There is, let's see here, there's some pictures here. Where are we here? Oh, let's see, I need to get to the 70s here. Yeah, there's just some photos of my mom through various portions of my life, some photos of myself, just some cute little personal things that I threw in here that some of the readers might enjoy. Then we go back to the end here. There is a conversion table, as I'm getting to that here, right here. So there's a lot of neat things in case you're not sure on a certain type of measurement, how to convert something from something else. I lay all this out. I've got some great tips here as well. And then there's just some afterthoughts. One thing I really like that I'm proud of is the actual index itself right here. Each of the ingredients are indexed by ingredient. You can have anything from beef or chicken or ginger or whatever ingredient, spice, or herb you might have that you want to use for a recipe. So say you've got a lot of something you want to use up. You just go ahead and flip through the ingredient that you want to look for, and each of the recipes in the book are subtitled underneath with the page number. So that's a great convenience. I do that a lot when I'm trying to use up an ingredient, or I've got beef or chicken or something I want to make something with and I'm not really sure. All I got to do is just go to the book like this here, and it'll tell me all the recipes in this book that have that ingredient in. And then at the end here, you can see I have a couple pages for some additional chef notes that you can still write more. If you've got a lot to write and there's not enough room on each of the recipe pages to do that, you can come back here and make reference notes as well. And then your back page, and that's it. And then you've got the back page here, which basically just goes into a brief synopsis of the book itself. And there you go. And that is it. Let me show you here. There's a spine, nice little spine here, and that's it. That is Cookin with Ma. Okay, that is the cookbook, Cookin with Ma. And I hope I gave you a brief tutorial about the book itself so you can expect what to see when you purchase this book. And I hope I've motivated you enough to order this book as well. Now, for you folks out there who already have my first cookbook, which is Get Cookin' with Chef Ron Locke, that came out last year, and enjoyed that one, you'll definitely want to get this new cookbook, Cookin with Ma, because that book, Cookin with Ma, is actually the prequel to Get Cookin' with Chef Ron Locke. Get Cookin' with Chef Ron Locke really is more about me in today's world of what I've done since I got into my catering business and my stories and travels along the last 15, 20 years of that. But Cookin with Ma is really where it all began. It starts when I was 5 years old and takes you all the way through until my mother passed away in 2009. And it really is a great introduction to myself, the family, and just has some wonderful, wonderful comfort foods, casseroles, desserts, breads, all kinds of great things in that book. So hopefully, again, I've motivated you to purchase this book. Let me tell you how you can do that. First of all, if you're on Facebook, Google+, or any of the other social media sites that we converse on or you see me on, you can message me directly through those, and I can give you instructions and directions on how to purchase one of my cookbooks. If you're not, and you're just seeing this on YouTube or one of the other streaming sites, you can contact me directly at, and the address is below, right there, chefronlock@gmail.com. Again, that's chefronlock@gmail.com. I feel like a rapper here or something. Anyway, it's down here. And so you can contact me there, and I will be more than happy to send you an email back with all the information. Now I'll tell you the ordering information and the cookbook price itself. The cookbook itself, if you want an unsigned copy of the cookbook, it's $19.95 plus shipping and handling, which brings that to $24.50. So $24.50 with everything will buy you an unsigned copy of either Cookin With Ma or Get Cookin with Chef Ron Lock. If you want a signed copy, I'll personally autograph, inscribe, sign anything you want in the book itself. It's just $2 more, and that would be $21.99 retail, and with shipping and handling that would be $26.50. All right. Now if you want to buy them both, if you don't have either one and you want to buy both of them today, you can also purchase both cookbooks. If you want them unsigned, it's $45 with everything. If you want them signed, it would be $49 with everything. Now, it might sound like a little bit to purchase these books money-wise, and I consider them an investment because they're not just cookbooks. They're actually cookbooks with stories and history and some other goodies in them that separate them from a cookbook themselves. Plus, if you know me, then what a great opportunity it is to buy a cookbook from somebody that's put something out like that, from a chef, right? So I hope that I have made my case today here, and I hope that you will think about purchasing one of my books, and please do, and contact me if you have any questions or for your purchase. And I thank you so much for purchasing Cookin With Ma or Get Cookin with Chef Ron Lock, either one. Thank you so much, and you all have a great day.